A woman from Markham, Ontario, is speaking to CBC News about an alleged mortgage fraud she says is targeting members of the Chinese community. Tina Lee says a mortgage broker befriended her in 2019 and offered to help her get a bank loan. Instead, Lee alleges that broker misrepresented documents, took out 2 mortgages on her home, and took the money. The broker denies those allegations. The CBC's Farah Morali has those details.
That's right, Hannah. What we've been able to find out is there are 5 other civil suits that have all been filed against this one mortgage broker, all from members of the Chinese community here in the Greater Toronto area, and all alleging mortgage fraud. Now, the woman at the center of these allegations is Peggy Chan, and according to court documents, one of these alleged victims, whose name is Tina Lee, says that Chan befriended her back in 2019. She says she offered to help her get a bank loan to help pay for some of her kids' education. Instead, Lee says Chan defrauded her out of hundreds of thousands of dollars by forging or arranging for the forging of documents that took a second and later third mortgage on her home. Lee says she had no idea about these mortgages, and she's now facing the possibility of losing her home. She's received a notice of sale, and we had a chance to speak to her for an interview that was translated by her daughter. Take a listen.
So when I found out that there were actually 2 mortgages on my title search, I immediately wanted to cry and break down. I was really scared because I didn't know completely what was going on. And so at the time I still didn't really understand, so I immediately went to Peggy, and she still insisted that it was a mistake on her company's part.
Clearly a very emotional situation for not just Lee, but her family. Those mortgages, of course, still on her property. Her lawyers are in the process of trying to have them removed, arguing that these are fraudulent. But Hannah, I should add, we also had a chance to speak to another lawyer who represents 2 other people who have filed civil suits against Chan. And what he described is sort of a pattern, allegedly, that Chan targets homes with a lot of equity. She misrepresents documents, rushes her clients through signing them, gets them to open up a joint bank account where the proceeds of this mortgage go in and the funds are withdrawn. But I should say that none of these allegations have been tested in court yet.
So what are you actually hearing from the woman at the center of these allegations?
So we did reach out to Peggy Chan, and we heard back from her lawyer. And what he told us is that his client is denying these allegations. He says that these alleged victims were willing participants in a plan to invest in properties here in the GTA, to invest and flip them. And he argues that these people knew about the mortgages. Take a listen.
The only sort of fraud that exists here is the accusation that these investors did not know or did not understand what they were investing in.
Now, the lawyers for Tina Lee say this statement is totally false and that there has been no evidence so far presented in any of these cases that backs up that claim. This matter still before the courts, Hannah, but what Lee told us is that she wanted to share her story so that others don't end up in the same position that she's in right now.
The CBC's Farah Morali.